What's up, y'all? This Mitchell&Mitchell.
Sip and spill, baby.
I'm Kimmi Kim.
And I'm your boy Ed. You get it. You know me.
So what's up, y'all? Happy Friday. It's the end of the week. So I
Friday.
know y'all, right? You good? You good, Ed, over there?
I'm
The end of
good.
the
I'm
week.
good. Cold weather. Had to get rid of this damn snow. Snow came out last night. I'm like, that's one thing that kind of bothers me. I get up in the morning and you think you all good because you did it the day before, and the
Yeah.
snow done got your ass. You wake up like, come on, man. Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. Because your mind is ready to go on and get about your day, and then it's like, I gotta. But anyway, I'm good though. I'm good.
That's good. Well, hey, for everybody that have somebody to be able to clean out their yards, bless y'all hard. Snow blowing or you out there straight shoveling.
Right.
I remember growing up, my brothers used to have to go out and they used to make their little $10, $15 shoveling people, for the other people, elderly people to get out and stuff.
Mhm.
So I'm in a
That's kind of a
loft,
lost
y'all, so
art
I ain't
now,
got to
though.
worry about that.
That's
Huh?
kind of a lost art now, though. Like some kids, and if the kids actually do go out there and do it, they make such a killing because everybody's like, "Oh my God, this one kid out of a million exactly decided to do
Right,
something." No, so they get everybody business. So anyway, that's a
right,
lost art now. But anyway.
right. So I would say, I personally would say that people don't do it like they used to, but
You mean
being
they don't
kindness
they don't do
is
it that
nice.
good, or they don't do it at
No, the,
all?
the kids that used to do it like for other people, they don't do it like they used to. But still the act of kindness can go a long way. I
Yeah,
live in a loft. I don't have to do my yard, so they have to do it. But I do have to clean my car, and I don't like that.
yeah.
You know,
That part could be
it
worse than
ain't
the
like
damn.
I can.
Sometimes you'd rather do the driveway than the car because it's so hard and you
Yes,
gotta wait on it. Yeah.
but let me tell y'all a little trick I learned. If you make alcohol in a little spray bottle and you spray it on your windows
Oh yeah, yeah.
all around your car, when it snows, for us living out here in the Midwest, that snows, when it comes on it, it's so much easier to get off the next time. It does. It's not
So you
it's
do
hard.
it the
I ain't gotta
night.
be with the
So the night
with the
before.
scraper, I ain't gotta be doing all that. Because once you spray the alcohol on there and you do your windshield wheels wiper back and forth, the next time it snows, it just for some reason just smooths. Now that has helped me. That's one of my things, y'all. Go ahead, use that.
I
You know what
like
I'm
that.
saying? Yeah, so it's good. So what Ed and I wanted to come at y'all today on this wonderful day is to talk about shutting down. I
Mhm.
know a lot of us do it. I think I'm gonna say I know I've been guilty of it in ways. I think I'm more of a shutdown type person in the midst of something going on, like right then and there. Like I'm finna say it, then I stop. Ed have called me out on it plenty of times. Like, no, no, don't do that now, right now. That's the kind of shutdown person I am, like in the midst of it. Now Ed is a little different. What kind of shutdown person you is, Ed?
Um, I don't know if I'm in the midst of it or not, but I don't know. Kim has caught me in a few shutdown moments, and
Ed is the type of shutdown that I think most of you guys are. One of my very best friends that I've known for years, the way she shut down, she need about 3, 4, 5 days, and she don't want to talk to nobody. And it was very hard on our friendship, extremely hard on our friendship, because during those 3 to 4, 5 days that she didn't want to talk, I was like, you want some bull because I need to talk to my friend. Like life is still happening, which kind of brings us to the verbal, mentally, emotional thing that we kind of want to talk about today.
got it.
Because then I just had a friend that hit me up today and doing all this long, and I'm the type of person I don't really like to hear a lot of, I'm sorry. I'm gonna tell y'all why. Because first of all, a lot of people don't say it no more. Just kind of expect that you should know. But the reason why I say is that I don't want it to be a set mind frame because people can get used to it. Like when you a man spitting game or a woman talking her stuff, it can come like that, and you
Okay.
keep doing it. So I want to when I hear that from you, and we in that type of friendship or relationship, I know it's coming. Like you mean that. You know what I'm saying? Because if I say it, I mean it. I'm not a quick person to say I love you. I'm not a quick person to say I'm sorry. I'm not a quick just to be saying it. Like it got to be on the level of You know what I'm saying? I need us right here. My ex would very much say this about me. I used to always say this, and that is, I don't want to hear you're sorry. You is not sorry. And he said, how you gonna tell me I'm not sorry? And I'm like, you don't know how I feel. And I said, you absolutely correct. But you said it so fast and you got my mindset so quick that this is what you do. You in that routine. So listen, we had someone elderly speak to us and they broke it down and said, when you do that, that's all that person can expect. But when it comes from a place of, I get you, because most of the time, if you do something and you're apologizing, you like when your child say, I'm sorry, mommy, they still gonna do stuff. But when it's your mate, they need to be able to feel that connection or that good friendship, or good, you got to be able to feel that this
Right.
is going another place. You know what I'm saying? So I know you mean what you say. It's not something they just say just to be saying.
Right.
So with shutting down, I'm also at like a good friend that called me today and he said, I'm sorry. He said, I'm sorry because I just been shutting down, Kim. Like I just been in this bad, 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 bad space. And I was feeling bad for him. I really was, because what he's going through is bad, and but basically calling me, and saying that he's sorry because he just kind of he had some commitments and some requirements he was supposed to do that involved me, and he didn't show up. You know what I'm saying? And us ladies and men, we don't like the ghost thing, but he just went away with it. So my biggest takeaway that I wanted him to kind of understand. Hold on 1 second, y'all.
While she's away, I know pretty well about that situation when you kind of are uh, when you not you just shut down. But my thing is that sometimes I don't feel like I need to. It's bad. I feel like I don't need to justify why I'm doing what I'm doing, or sometimes you just not maybe not feel courageous enough to be honest and say, hey, look, I need a mental break, or this was going down. Or sometimes you be, for me, the person she told me to shut down is the person that feel like it's so overwhelmed that to add that to my overwhelmingness or whatever, you just kind of just shut down. You don't say too much, you do too much or whatever. You just kind of, which is whack. I think it's totally whack as hell. I know she will attest to that, but I
What's up?
understand
What he saying,
why
y'all?
they do that. I was explaining to them about how how I justify shutting down where I'm
Oh,
overwhelmed by something. I feel like I don't want to embark on that situation, so I'll just shut down and stay away from altogether, which is whack. I just concur that that was whack. But go ahead. I want them to
okay.
hear.
So,
Yeah.
and I'm quite sure all y'all know this is 100% relatable. He just being 100%. Ed is being 100% transparent about how he feel when he in that moment. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we all shut down. It's in all of us. However, we all do it differently in the way we do it. But this is what I want to convey. So I feel like that it'd be great that in the process of shutting down, do you really want to stay there? Do you really, because basically you shutting down over something that happened, right? Okay. And most of the time it's temporary, correct? So do you really want to be shut down over a temporary emotion? Because when we shut down, you close everybody out, right? And then
Right.
like my friend just called me. He missed out on a lot of opportunities. He had things lined up. I showed up, I was there, but he wasn't. I couldn't carry him through it. His presence needed to be there. So he lost the deal. You know what I'm saying? And not to say what he was going through was not, you know, a hard thing and it wasn't rough. And I can do all that sympathizing and empathizing. And I get that. But I promise you guys, you can do all that. You can call off work. You can do whatever you want to do. And then guess what? And your ass can die. And they're going to send the card to your family and say condolences. So sorry, they died. And that business will move on.
Hmm.
That's why I'm saying, do you really want to shut down to the point to where you lose out on long-term relationship that you built in friendship, or long-term business that you didn't have? You know what I'm saying? It's just a temporary emotion, okay, that make you feel like I want to block everything out. But guys, we give that power when we do that. So I
Sure
used
do.
to tell my children growing up, I said, you got 20 minutes to be mad. When they used to get upset at each other or at me or their dad, they might not didn't want to eat a particular food. They might couldn't go outside, couldn't stay out longer. So I would say, you got 20 minutes to be mad. And my sons, they used to hate that. Like, They used to be like, "What you mean, Mom?" I said, "Because after that, I commenced to tickling them. I did it, and it was hard, especially my oldest son. It was like when he wasn't having that, and it wasn't always easy for me because I could be really mad and angry at them. But I didn't want that to keep being my jish because I wanted us to get out of that. It takes more frowns and wrinkles in your face to frown than to do to smile. So
More
I wanted to
muscles.
make that, you know what I'm saying? More muscles. Thank you, Ed.
Yeah.
So with that, I didn't want that to be like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but as life goes on and we get older, it's not as easy to just tickle you and get you out of that. Hell, it ain't even easy when somebody give you advice. You're like, you don't want to hear that shit. And I know y'all heard that on plenty of my segments.
Mm-hmm.
But it really is a temporary issue, guys. At that moment that makes you want to shut down. Even loss of life. The person that you lose. Ed probably know this like me. I lost my father in 2015. One of you know, the most, I would say, most painful experiences I've ever experienced in my life. One of them. But even then, I couldn't stay there. You know what I mean? I just couldn't stay there. And some of us can say because we got children, you still got, I mean, even when you lose your parent or a child at work, do you know they only give you 3 days off? That's it. And then the rest, you have to use PTO or time you have. Or hell, just say forget the job. Or long-term disability if you got a doctor to say that. Um, but I'm just saying, you see what I mean? Like life still goes on.
Mm-hmm.
So at some point, we got to wrap our head around a temporary emotion and don't let it be a long-term, lifelong condition that can happen. Because when you in that funk and you shut down, you make irrational decisions. You react in that moment because remind you, it's off that emotion. What's going on right now? That adrenaline. For example, Ed says to me one time, I said, you know, we was having a conversation, and I am the type of person, I'm very passionate about what I talk about. Or something that's bothering me, or something that's going on, or something. I'm a fixer. That's me. I like to solve issues. I'm not a type of person like I just wanted to let it go. But sometimes you can meet people, and thank God I met my Ed, I'm going to say in this point, and say that just as much as I can give him, to some things comes back to you. And he said, well, maybe you need a few days. Okay, he said a few days. And I'm gonna be the first one to say, y'all, to my own horn here. I hate that. I like to solve things. I don't like them to linger. But some things you don't need to do a quick reaction on. And this is what I preach. So when he said maybe you just need to take a few little days and think about it or whatever. And I was like, no, like I don't need, I mean, I know this is what I want to do. And even though I might know, or you may know what you want to do in that moment, but you can do something out of reaction that it don't becomes clear. So sometimes this is when I say the 20 minutes that I taught my children when they was younger changed to what Edward would say now. I always say, son, don't make a quick reaction. Don't react so fast because you can react irrationally and make a wrong decision. And then you look back and say, man, if I was, just like a lot of people that probably got a DUI driving, damn, if I would have never just drunk that much that night, I would have never called, man, if I would never been so high, damn, if I would have never smashed this person that night because I was in a drunken state and now I got this baby and I really don't want to be with that baby mama or that baby daddy. And I know y'all can feel me what I'm saying. So what I'm saying, sometimes shutting down can make you have irrational decisions that you make that you can't come back from.
Let me ask you a
So
question. You say,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, I don't want to cut you off because I know
Go
you
ahead.
had a double point. So I'm trying to get um, I'm trying to see if I can. I had a thought about that when you said that. When you said shut down, so I'm thinking like sometimes when you say you be in an emotional headspace, you make a decision. I think I want to kind of focus on the shutting down part where you are not, I guess, shutting down maybe mentally. And when you shut down mentally, just to kind of harp on that point,
Okay.
you shut down mentally. What you're doing is you're actually allowing the raw emotions to take over, and you're not mentally judging or taking that moment, like you said, at 20 minutes. Like you shut down mentally where you're not trying to be logical or not saying, okay, let me chill. Maybe I'm tripping. You know what I mean? And in that instance, I'm thinking I'm just asking to make sure I have clarity because I know I can shut down mentally where I'm so whatever it is I'm going on with it. I'm not thinking about the repercussions of what the decisions or the lack of decisions that I make
Mm.
out of our emotions. You know what I mean? It's almost like these things that happen when people have these charges, these like murder cases and domestic cases where oh fuck, they just they're
Right.
not mentally shut down. They let that emotion, they're not responding, they're reacting, and they mentally are shutting down. They're now allowing themselves that 20 minutes or that time to be like, you just called me a B. Okay. Woo, gee. Let me get back to this.
Right.
So I just
Right.
want to make sure that is that kind of because I'm trying to make sure is that I'm just trying to make sure I understand that because I think I attributed that when I say mentally shutting down and then making these emotionally erratic decisions or whatever at that moment. It's like you mentally shut that part down and you just went
Right.
for
So okay. So are you asking when you mentally shut down when it's mental? Because guys, y'all see we say verbal, mental, and emotionally. But what you're saying is a mental thing. I'm shutting down right now,
I shut my
and
mind down and whatever
I
happens,
shut my
happens.
mind down. Whatever happens, happens. That's really, and not to say it is, but that's really how a person behaves and reacts when they really go. That's when they at their worst. When they're gonna do something really, crazy, because they have to mentally go somewhere else. And I'll speak on myself. When my son got hurt, and in the process of that whole situation, I mentally shut down. I
Mm.
mentally shut down. And it was very raw. And I wanted to just put it out there. And Ed saw it in me and he wanted me to just share it, just to help me get through it. However, that's not something I was able to do because it was too raw and it was too mental. So for that reason, I can say I did mentally shut down though. That means there was no open minded to any type of reason and any type of understanding. And I didn't want to hear anything nobody had to say. My mind was focused on, yep, this is what I'm gonna do because baby, but as you get older and hopefully in time, and I'm trying to say that even with millennials, that when you get to a certain age or certain experiences, things happen in your life, that's what you don't want to do. It's okay to remove yourself from a situation, and it's okay to literally shut down and say, right now, I need to think about it. Some people say, the reason why they smoke weed is because they go to a different place and they're able to see things clear. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? It's just they don't know. It's like I'm chilling. I ain't all over the place. I ain't got all this anxiety. Some people say that. You
Can I
know,
ask you a question, Kim? I'm sorry.
yep.
I hate I because I know I be wanting to
No,
keep.
that's what he's supposed to do.
I wanted to ask because I kind of wanted to make some to do some deciphering
Okay.
or raise some distinctions for my own clarity and maybe
Okay.
clarity for others. So we talk about verbal, mental, and emotional shutdown. I would love for you to explain to me, give me. We kind of talk about the mental thing a little bit, but I would love for you to kind of delve into the verbal part and then hit us with the emotional shutdown. Like give me like examples and then at the end, I would love for you to kind of maybe give us some tools. We can figure out some tools of how to avoid those. Sometimes it might be good to verbally shut down and emotionally shut down, and sometimes it might be kind of very, very whack. So if you can kind of give me,
Yeah.
because this, I swear to God, you guys, I do call her for that. And this is why I think we work because, and I tell her, I'm like, Kim, I'm so sorry. I know I call you. I know I give you all my stuff. She walks around with all my stuff, my load and stuff, and she'd be like, okay, I got you, I got you. But yes, verbal and emotional. Can you kind of break those down? Maybe decipher. Give me maybe some quick examples of verbal shutting down and
And
verbal
then
shutting
let me go ahead and tell y'all my disclaimer real quick. Because when they say this a lot, and I got other friends to say that, I call Kim and she'll do this. So this is not about certification. This is not about, oh, Kim know every damn thing. And I'm none of that, y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all what I am. I'm a sum of my experiences. And once you learn how to package it and share them, that's growth. Because you know how sometimes things happen to you in your life, you be like, damn, why me? And I promise y'all, what I'm saying to you right now is what I've been feeling. So I'm gonna say verbal. Verbal is like somebody like Ed just said not too long ago. You talking to somebody and then they just straight up call you, that B word. Some women talk to each other like that. I'm from the old school. I still feel like that's fighting words to me. I just don't call my girlfriends that. I just don't answer to it either. I mean, I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Or, um, but verbal is when somebody, you stand in line, somebody say something stupid to you, and you mentally like, I know you just didn't you who you, and you get to looking around because you like, I'm trying to see who the hell you talking to. You know what I mean? That's verbal because somebody said something to you. Emotional is how somebody made you feel. That's totally different. That's also, I would consider, one of the most dangerous shutdowns ever, besides mental. I say it's definitely number two. Emotional is when somebody made you feel some way. You know, if it's um, your child, you know, your children could take us through emotional roller coaster. I know my boys have. Ooh wee. I mean, I done grabbed all kind of things. You know what I'm saying? That I want to do some things. Um, and then there's the relationship. A lot of people go back and forth relationship. I cannot believe I done gave all this to this person and they doing this and then this side. So just like that. So it's like that. Then that shit start playing on you. And emotional is hard because you start feeling everything at once. That's when anxiety can kick in. That's when you know, and you shut down. Cause and then you like, so you don't even start thinking about like why that may have came, why they may have thought that, how they may have suppressed it, that then they shared it with you. You don't think about nothing. All that is completely irrational. It's strictly based off that emotion, how you made me feel. You follow me, Ed? So
I get
those
it.
are the two differences:
So
verbal and emotional.
do I so in the verbal thing, and I know we're at the end of this segment, but well, no, we're not.
No, we good.
We good. So the verbal part of it, I my thought is okay. To me, it's like I guess you may start with emotion. I'm sorry, may start with mental, verbal, and emotional. So my layers of thinking is like this. I'm thinking straight relational, right? Relational when it comes to your partner or anybody. You know, mentally you start being like, oh, okay, I'm not going to engage or with them mentally. I'm not going to put thought into this. So I'm gonna shut
Mm-hmm.
down. You know, like mentally trying to figure this thing out and work things out like that. Secondly, and I'm talking about in the realm of shutting down.
Okay.
Mentally, I'm not putting in the work. I'm not trying to decipher things and figure out what they mean. They say it. If I get it, I get it. I don't. Whatever, whatever. Mentally, I'm not. Verbally, they say something. Normally, because you engage with that person mentally, or you feeling that person, you would talk back. But now they say stuff. You're like, okay, that's cool. Okay, how you feel, Ed? I'm good. But though I know I have something to say, or I should say something normally. Then the emotional part of it is like I'm detached. Whatever happens to you, whatever you do, is inconsequential to me. I don't care. Oh, you fail. You want to go somewhere else and see somebody else. I'm not emotionally detached. So I look at when I ask those questions about shutting down, it's like those are like these three levels. And I think I may have done it wrong. Maybe it should be mentally, verbally, then emotionally. But yeah, it seemed like you shut down, you just kind of detach from people. Is how I was looking at it, or whatever.
Right,
Where
because that's your coping mechanism.
it's a
So
coping mechanism.
everybody has a different coping mechanism. It doesn't matter if it's verbally, mentally, emotionally. And most people do in the world today. Most people is like, I just simply don't care. If that's what you own, they have to. That's how they have to go to that mental space and block that situation out because apparently it's something that you said verbally and mentally. It's hard for them to accept and receive, and then emotionally, the way you made them feel. So you know what? Whatever you're doing, that's on you. Okay, what you like you just said, okay, you let it go. But that only lasts. That's what I'm saying. Do you really want to stay there? That's a temporary, verbally, mentally, emotional shutdown that you can potentially destroy something that was long term or building. It really can. And only way you really can feel that without making that fatal mistake is that at some point you have to come out of it. It might work for you for that moment, but at some point you're gonna have to face it. You know, you're gonna have to verbally admit to it,
Mm-hmm.
and you're gonna have to mentally accept it, and you damn sure have to emotionally feel it. Because
I
when you block all those things out, you're not making sense anyway, not with yourself or the situation or the other person. So the first person you have to deal with is you. Because I'm gonna tell you something about shutting down too. It causes a lot of health problems. it causes a lot of health problems. If you got high blood pressure, it can go up and down. Okay. And if you don't, and then you could be sitting there binge eating. You know what I'm saying? You start to eat more because that's your all of a sudden now you a gallon of ice cream and a big ass bag of Doritos. You know what I'm saying? Or you can shop, it can mess you up financially. You shop to make you feel good. For everything that you're coping with, you shut down with, you try to replace it. But it's all temporary. All I'm saying is it's gonna happen, Ed, no matter who and you are listening, it's gonna happen. You're gonna have things, but you gotta find a way to build the greatest coping mechanism that you got. For
I want.
myself, I'll give you an example, but go ahead, Ed, before I say
I
it.
was going. I think you about to go there. I don't want to hutch because I was going to ask you. I think you're going to give me an example. That's what I was going to ask you. So go ahead.
My
That's all I was going.
example, my example for myself is that, like I said, I like to say, okay, I'm not finna, oh man, it just can't. Like, I start thinking about all the stuff, the work that I put into it, whether it's a relationship, whether it's a business, whether it's an entity. And then you compartmentalize them, decipher which one is just simply important. Some things you can completely wash away with. I guess it ain't meant then, fuck it is, wash it away.
Mhm.
But there's things that they are meant and they are worth having in your life. That's just life. It's gonna happen. Things gonna happen. You're gonna fall off a little bit, but you gotta put a time limit on it within yourself. You gotta say, "This is what I need." Just like I shared with you guys earlier when Ed said to me, and I went in that type of headspace, but he said maybe you need to take a few days. I'm like, I don't need a few days. My decision's made. And guess what, guys? I still don't need the few days. My mind was made up then. My mind is made up now. However, still that little time, my reaction is better though. And now my mindset open up to allow me. And it's just less than 24 hours. I ain't even do days. Okay, let's do it. But my mind opened up. And this is one of the examples there was that you still have to get to a place where you can open up your mind so you can let reason come in to fight that verbal and mental and emotional. You know what I mean? Just like when you're tired as hell and you get a 5 energy drink. Because if you don't fight that tiredness, what you gonna do? You ain't gonna be able to do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying? So you're gonna fall asleep or you're gonna miss out too, and you're gonna be saying, I'm just tired. So whatever, instead of replacing things with bad things, okay, the coping mechanism, you need to replace them with irrational things. And most of them is going to require an absolute act. So if it's meditation for you, if it's praying for you, if you're going to be shut down, at least do something with it. Even in the pandemic, people develop businesses, didn't they? They started using talents they didn't even know they had.
Mhm.
It's the same thing. When you decide to shut down, do something productive with that shutdown. You could be mad, you could be angry, but you simply can't stay there. It was a time that Ed called me and said, he just wasn't in the right space. And he was like, I'm just mad as hell. I said, okay, but you can't stay there. You can't. And that's with everything that we got going on in our life. You gonna get into it with your spouses. You gonna have that falling out with your boyfriend. You gonna have that fallout with the baby daddy, baby mama, ex, the job. You know what I'm saying? The co-worker. You know what I'm saying? Or
So
somebody
for
just
real.
plain doing you stupid. You know what I'm saying? For no reason. And things depending on what's going on and where you at in your life, some things gonna seem way bigger than what they really is. Because if you really start thinking about it and open up your mind and heart, you can make that small as hell.
Mhm.
It really ain't a big thing. For example, and I'm talking about myself. I liked this job. Oh my God, I liked this job. I asked, prayed for it, God gave it to me. Got to work in this job, and then guess what, y'all? The job just went away. No answer. I mean, no telling me nothing. Didn't know still to this day. And I was like, man, God have a way of removing things out your life for him to bring in where he said you need to be. Because after all, he created us. So a lot of times we be a blocking of our own blessing. So sometimes we just need to move on out the way. And everything don't need to be understood. And everything is not worth a battle. Every time I'm gonna get upset and you try and explain, you like this person ain't getting it, ain't this and that. Well, you know what? Maybe it ain't meant for them to get it right now. But you never know. 2 weeks later, they can call you and say, you remember when we had that conversation? And I was talking to you and I couldn't receive it then. I couldn't get it then. But I did now. So I'm the type of person I believe, and I hope that y'all take this gem away from you, is this. because I wanted to make sure y'all didn't get this, that y'all didn't miss this. Because my mindset, don't compare yourself with anyone in this world. Okay? Stop comparing yourself to other people. Okay? If you do so, all you doing is insulting yourself because you are uniquely you. Our purpose is simple: to love each other, to love all life, and to love everything on this earth. That's it. Everybody want love. Am I right? Everybody. I don't care what we doing, what job we in, we want the love. If you're on a doggone social media site, you want the love. If you're in a relationship, you want the love. So we all want love. So the very thing you want, you got to give it. You got
Right.
to give it. So I say that, and I say this. There's a lot of different changes that happen in our life. In life, friendship change, divorces happen, people move on, other people die,
Mm.
money and jobs come and go. You live long enough and your health and your body will change. It goes with the territory of just being human. But the fact that you still here, you truly need to take advantage of that. Don't look back, just look straight ahead. You cannot move forward if your car is in reverse, if your mindset is in reverse. You change your mindset, you'll change your life.
Got it. Facts.
So I know this is normally over our little time, but I hope y'all took the time out. This one I'm gonna push a lot because I just feel like we really do they need to hear this. You know what I'm saying, Ed? I think that we all get into these spaces we don't want. Lord knows I'm in enough groups where this is all I've been hearing all day. Why I can't find a man to love me for me, or why I gotta be too much, or why I'm not enough, or why I'm a lot. Ed, no, I've said this. I don't like those. But you know what, ladies, men, this one man, he just did this. Gotta say this. He lived in Africa, okay? But he got a dual citizenship. His girlfriend is in the United States. He wanted to surprise her for money. I don't know if y'all know that, but it costs a lot of money to get on a plane and fly in the same day to the United States, okay? That's what he did. And he wanted to surprise her for her birthday. Bought all kinds of gifts. Bought a birthday outfit, got her nails, feet done, took her to the most extravagant restaurant. Then he had to fly back because he had to go home and get to work. But he wanted to show her that she mattered, right? So someone would be like, oh my God, even me, that is beautiful. Like, I would love that. You know what I mean? But he get back home, ladies, and he get a text from her. And she said, I really appreciate what you did. Okay? I mean, you is the most sweetest guy. But I really feel like at this time that I I don't feel like we're in the same place. I don't feel like I can give you and be there the way you can do me. And I just I just feel like you a lot. So I think we should go our separate ways, but I hope you can forgive me. So when he put it on this and he told everybody this, women and men was mad as hell, which rightfully so. It's like, so now there is a guy that's out there doing it. This is when you have a person that does that, and there's women over there that's waiting for somebody to do it, or a man that,
Mm.
and this is why men, I heard the men say, this is why I don't do all that, I don't do that because bees be doing this and doing that. I'm like, ungrateful, and all that, right?
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, he wasn't a lot, guys. He just wasn't for her. You know what I mean? And I am gonna be, as you say, as Edward say all the time, devil African, to say, I'm glad she was honest enough to let that man go. We can fly and get to where the woman that would appreciate and love that. Because if she kept stringing him along, he would have been in that place. That's why I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna add this into this story just for a little bit. Y'all hear us talk about polyamorous and hear us talking about monogamy, but I'm just gonna talk about being human. Make sure your stuff is clear and upfront and your intentions known. Don't play with people's hearts. Don't lead them in all different type of directions. Because what that young man did come back and say after everybody snapped and said this and that, he said that no, guys, there were red flags. I chose to overlook them. Now it's a year later. I'm in a beautiful relationship. But had that would have never happened to me, I would have never be where I'm at. So stop saying you this and stop saying you that. Because I'm going to tell you something. Power of manifestation through your mouth is powerful. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? It's
Yeah.
not what they call you, honey. It's what you answer to.
Mm-hmm.
I said I was gonna be a little long-winded, Edward. So I hope it was okay, because sometimes you tell me I talk too much.
It was good.
But
It was necessary. I loved it. I learned something. That it's something needs to be done. I think we needed to push this more and get into more segments like these, so people can kind of see themselves, and we can have more dialogue about it. We can grow from it. So
questions, Q&A, or comments, please leave them. We would love to engage with y'all. Y'all know we do our lives every once a week. So when we on our live this week, this is the time I'm gonna ask y'all specifically whoever saw this segment. And if you did, I got a prize for y'all. Cause now I'm gonna see who really watching us.
right, that right
Yeah.
there's a dope one. I like it.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, maybe we'll figure out over the weekend what that. Well, maybe we'll go further with that. But I like it. I'm with it.
Yeah,
So
I want to see who watched this segment, because you're gonna have to be able to tell me one of my phrases, because Kimmy be dropping them gems. So we'll see.
what are they called?
The Kimmi Gems. So with that said, I want to say, Ed, thanks for being a good sport and let me be long-winded. It's just us, it's not just my platform. It don't work without him, just to let y'all know that. But with that stated, I want y'all to know that everything we say or everything we try to share is coming from a place of love.
Yes.
So we hope that we get to reach every community. And this ain't your average podcast. It ain't your average Facebook facing that you turn on. It's not. It's the real. That's why we call it sip and spill. We really don't give a damn what you sipping on either.
We really don't, because we go from tea to wine. I don't think we ever had tea, but wine and coffee and water.
I don't think we ever had tea,
I don't think
but
we had tea. We didn't do tea,
we gonna
but we
promote
will.
you to be able to get your water in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, get your water in. She getting her water in today, and so I
Oh
need to get
yeah,
my
I'm doing
behind.
my thing today, y'all.
I'm behind. So, all right, lovely. I appreciate it. This has been a great episode. I love it, and we're gonna do more of these, and we're gonna do a lot of our funny stuff. We got some funny. We got one. I don't know. I'm waiting on Kim to give me the green light on her, the Kai character. I liked it. She's kind of holding back. I don't know. We're gonna find out. But I think the Kai character is hilarious.
Gotta
I
keep
just
that
kind of.
mystery going.
I'm just trying to figure out. I'm just sitting there. Listen, I want to air it. You gotta give me the green light. But I want to air. I just want y'all to see it so y'all can say what y'all think. And it's like, and this character, you just can't put a finger on her. You don't know where she's gonna go. I ask a question. I'm thinking she's going this way. She's like, no, it's no.
It's a lot of
Very
people,
hard.
and Ed and I, it's a lot of different people, and I know y'all is definitely can relate to us. So
Mhm.
stay tuned so you can
Stay
check
tuned.
us out.
Like, subscribe, and share. Mitchell and
Yeah.
Mitchell, Pacific Spirit. We're on all platforms right now. I think maybe not Twitter. She's still not.
And remember, this
She
is
don't
a
fuck with Twitter.
hitting prize in this segment.
So
So if you
shut
watch
it
it, if you
down.
can tell me a Kimmi gem, then I know you watched it.
Let's go. Look, it's been
All
real.
right.
It's been fun. It has been real fun. It
It
has.
has been. All right. Peace, y'all.
Peace to the Middle East.